Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we will be talking about that winter storm. At this point, it is already occurring. As you can see across Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, it's underway, if you will, and it is definitely gonna be only intensifying from here on out through around Wednesday and into Thursday. I also will be going over briefly what's going on right now currently across the Midwest with this little severe weather threat. There's actually a tornado watch for a good portion of northern Illinois, and yeah, definitely but again, this isn't the winter storm. I'll be mainly focusing on what's going on here, and you can see we're already reporting snow across areas like Billings. So again, a larger city across Montana. So it's not just the mountains, if you will, seeing the snow with this. Notice Idaho Falls was seeing some snow, but they were going in and out from some rain. We are seeing some snow starting to pile up across portions of northern Wyoming. So definitely a kind of a beginning phase to all of this, and it will be only, again, as I mentioned, intensifying from here. We also have some rain as far as Las Vegas, or just north, and some showers, snow showers across much of Nevada. So yes, we do have a severe weather threat. This low pressure centered right around at this point into western Illinois, where it has been spinning and quickly moving batches of precipitation across much of northern Illinois. And I want to show you how fast this is. I mean, look at that. Within 1 hour, it moves from looking like this, the band way across eastern Illinois, and let's see, 3 o'clock. That's a lot of movement for 1 hour. This isn't a slow moving area of precip. But yes, there will be thunderstorms, will be showers. If you are caught under one of these, they are definitely downpours. I was outside while one tried sneaking up on me, but yes, definitely a torrential downpour threat. And again, with that tornado watch, there is something to be kind of wary for. I do want to say that before we get into this video fully, if you guys would like to support this channel, you could do so by hitting the subscribe button or hitting the like button. I'm not begging you for you to do it. Obviously, check out the channel first if you don't know whether you like this channel or not. And this is, again, just something that helps out, so consider doing that. Also, if you have any comments, leave them down below. All right, so again, we do have a lot of that severe weather going on right now across Illinois and into portions of northern Indiana. You can see a few counties right there. Again, this is mainly a severe weather threat in terms of winds. There is some tornado warnings, and you can see that that's why there's a tornado watch. But hail, lightning is also a possibility, but on a 1 to 5 scale rating, it's not a 4 like it was yesterday across the plains. It is a 2, so still decently high. But again, these storms, if you're to take a glance at them, the severe thunderstorm warnings, they have mainly winds to do with them, but again, some of them can have tornadoes embedded in there. Okay, as we turn our attention towards the west, look at Utah, Nevada, and especially into Wyoming, and southern Montana, even Colorado. All those winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. I mean, there's a ton of them, and yes, they do all call for decent amounts of snow. You could see for Riverton, Thermopolis, Thermopolis. And as we put this into, let's click on random location, say Grable, just to see what one given location sees. This one probably staying on the lighter side of the snow. Yeah, you could see less than 1 inch, less than half an inch. I think I must have picked the least potentially affected area in terms of snow. Let's go to an area that probably will see a bit more, like let's see right there, just east of Grable. Right? No, yes. And as we are just east of Buffalo, you can see 4 to 8, 5 to 9. So again, these snow mounts are a bit obviously bigger. And again, this does stretch into portions of the plains. Obviously, the Black Hills mainly, seeing that snow, which usually they do see enhanced areas of snow in any given storm. But you can see 1 to 3, 8 to 12, 3 to 5. So that's a mighty snowfall event. And I do want to say that even where there aren't any winter or snow potentials, there are a lot of freeze watches, hard freeze warnings, and whatnot. You can see these dark blue colors. Let's click right there, and you can see there's a hard freeze watch. So you won't really be seeing snow, but mainly, again, very chilly temperatures. So let's go forward and take a look at again, just the radar one more time. I want to show you what is ongoing right now across Idaho, Montana, and into Wyoming. You can see again the motion is mainly just kind of to the south and east with this band, and you can see it was pretty well developed across Nevada, kind of what the models were showing earlier, and you can see that is it definitely a decent area of snow that fell. And at this point, it is going to be going a intensification phase, and again, only getting stronger. So let's take a look at this and see what we can kind of forecast into the future. GFS model, very good model. Let's see what it shows. So in the next 6 hours, this is really what it's going on right now. So and as we put this towards 1 a.m., so today if you're staying up really late, you still may be up. You can see this is what it's supposed to look like. This low pressure is well on its way kind of to the north, reaching its fingers towards Canada, but into Wyoming, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and Montana, we do have some of that snow starting to spread more and more than even what's, again, on the radar right now. As we push this towards tomorrow morning, you can see we do see quite a bit of precip across northern Arizona, especially southern Utah, so definitely decent amounts of precip and rain and snow. Obviously, snow for the higher elevations, rain for the lower. As we get to our states, however, like Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, we do see more of that snow that's just widespread, really. All elevations getting impacted by it. And look, here's where we start seeing a intensification, an explosion of precip tomorrow late in the day at around 6, 7, 8, and again that's why there is a enhanced area of severe weather issued for tomorrow, and that is again to do with the explosion that I'm about to show you right there. And at the same time, we do have that snowfall starting to intensify again, really wrapping up across Utah, say eastern maybe, or sorry, western Wyoming, but eastern Wyoming, southern Montana, and even portions of western South Dakota and North Dakota could be seeing some pretty heavy snowfall rates, and that's been a trend with the past few days. This low pressure has kind of been a bit further towards the east and has increased the models of snowfall for southeastern Montana, northeastern Wyoming, and potentially far western South Dakota and North Dakota. And you can see that as we push this towards early Wednesday morning and into Wednesday during the day, this snowstorm, it continues and it is raging, right? We do also have obviously a lot of rain on a rainy side across much of Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, but as we push this forward, you can see that snow does end up spreading all the way into the Montana, North Dakota border, all the way into Saskatchewan, but it does weaken, and that is definitely something that's gonna happen eventually. And after it, basically, we do have precipitation from that cold front that ends up dragging, look at that hurricane from the Pacific that just brings a lot of moisture and could act to support another system, not a snowstorm, just a large rainstorm. And yes, there is not really a sign of any other additional winter storms in the short to even long range. So really, this is going to be probably our last kind of, or not last, but our first storm for a while, if you will. There's not going to be another one following this. So again, the pattern's staying relatively drier and a lot warmer than normal. Taking a look at the precip amounts, obviously, right? So this is including snowfall and rain, but shown in liquid form, and you can see lots of rain, especially where that snow is very intense, but also where that hurricane gets dragged on from the Pacific Ocean. So again, rain amounts, it's beneficial, it's good. They need that, so that's very encouraging to see. Now, if you were to take a look at the total snowfall, it's an impressive story. You can see lots of snow across Utah, Colorado, Idaho, and Wyoming, especially towards northeastern Wyoming. And look at that right there into Montana for western North Dakota and South Dakota, and potentially widespread amounts of over 2 feet across portions of the Black Hills in extreme south, really extreme western South Dakota. So the Canadian model, it's another good model. This one you can see shows decent snow amounts as well. Actually, probably a bit more widespread. It doesn't show that snow as far to the north as the GFS, but look, it shows a lot more across widespread kind of areas, if you will, across Montana and both the Dakotas, and into Wyoming and also Colorado and Nevada. So definitely an early season system, and I could show you the Canadian and how it plays this out. So again, there's our system today across the Midwest delivering that severe weather, but look at that snow. It starts exploding in size as we get towards late today, overnight hours, and into tomorrow during the day. This is 1 p.m. You can see that severe weather that erupts at around this time tomorrow, but probably even a bit later. It's going to be an overnight severe weather threat, most likely. The snow really moves out of Utah by tomorrow later in the day. Colorado lingers for the northern portions till about the second half of or I should say really till midnight of tomorrow. But then look, Wyoming continues seeing that snow, Montana, both the Dakotas, and again, I showed you those snowfall amounts. They are pretty significant. The Canadian is a strong advocate for this little system of bringing some snow. This isn't major, but the thing is that it could actually bring some decent snow amounts into cities like Denver. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting scenario. But you could see this Canadian too also develops that system from that hurricane, and it does develop that storm, but again, not a snowstorm. It's just too darn warm for any for any for any winter storms to develop, at least in a short to medium term. Let's take a look at the European, a very good model, and just show you what it shows. Look at that explosion again today into tomorrow. This is Tuesday during the afternoon. Wednesday, look, moves out of Utah, Nevada, Colorado, Idaho, but moves into eastern Wyoming and into both the Dakotas. You know, the European, those winds are strong, probably some blizzard conditions, just not widespread blizzard conditions. It does weaken in terms of that snowfall and really in strength and rain as it moves to the north, but again, not before delivering quite a bit of rain, quite a bit of severe weather. You can see that band of rain is very, very profound, significant, and the European too also develops that secondary low pressure off that cold front of this big winter storm from that help of that hurricane in the Pacific Ocean. But it too doesn't develop any winter storm, right? Just a rainstorm that brings rain very, very far to the north for this time of the year. And as it pushes forward, look, it does show some sort of a hybrid low pressure clipper system, bringing in some chillier air. But again, nothing, no mention of a winter storm. So at least, you know, if you're warm weather lover, you're gonna be fine for most everyone's gonna be fine for the next 1 to 2 weeks at least. But again, it's inevitable that winter is coming slowly but surely. Snowfall amounts from the European model, again, you know, decent amounts across Utah, 7, 13 maybe inches, into Idaho, Colorado, not really the mountainous areas for Colorado. The highest of the highest, seeing the heaviest snow, and then Wyoming is just everyone pretty much seeing snow, even the capital 3 to 4 inches right there. Yellowstone 6 to 10, and then across northeastern Wyoming, this European shows really 1 to 2 feet, and across the Black Hills it maximizes it towards even potentially up to 3 feet of snow. So we'll have to wait and see, but yes, definitely an interesting scenario according to the European model, so we'll have to wait and see what occurs. Probably actually one of the heavier amounts of snow the European shows, probably heavier than the GFS or the Canadian, so interesting for sure. Total accumulated precip, so in liquid form, obviously where that second low pressure develops, you can see a lot of heavy rain, and that's a bit too much. These areas have already seen quite a bit, and honestly, even if you're dry, picking up 3 inches in a little event is just not good. But notice the Dakotas, Wyoming, again, these areas need that rain. They're going to get quite a bit of it, so that's good, encouraging news. And yes, again, a warmer pattern as we get towards really kind of out of this winter storm's impacts that it will create for the next few days. And I do want to show you some of the HighRes models, right? So I've shown you a lot of these big ones, but let's take a look at the HighRes model. This one goes out not very far, but it specializes in being short range and its accuracy. And let's take a look at what it shows. So again, 48 hours. Let's see. So this is hour 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. This already happened. So again, it's a bit old, but not much older than the models I just showed you. This is now 7 p.m. So really what's going on right now, it's a pretty good representation of what's occurring. And notice that low pressure across the Midwest gets skirted out and again it starts reaching for Canada. But look at that snow across Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and into portions of Nevada and Utah. We do start seeing quite a bit of it, and it could be falling again heavily through much of the overnight. I mean, seriously, already an event that's going to be long duration, and in terms of strength, just continuing to intensify. So definitely an interesting storm. And again, it pulls out of Idaho, really, that snow by tomorrow. But look, this is 3, 4, 5 p.m. or a.m., 7, 8, 9, 10, right, into 12. This is now in the afternoon hours. We still don't see a lot of precipitation on the rainy side. We do see snow quickly developing across really 90% of the state in Wyoming, into southern Montana, and into portions of northern Colorado. And look, there's that explosion of precipitation. And right there, tomorrow, 7, 8, 9 is where that severe weather threat is going to be the highest. So if you live across Kansas, Nebraska, the Oklahoma and Texas panhandle into South Dakota, stay safe. Be wary at around this time of the day. Tomorrow, there could be quite a bit of those nasty storms, and notice that again, that snow continues. This HighRes model brings it pretty far west into North Dakota and South Dakota. I mean, it's not really reaching major cities, but yeah, that's quite a bit away from the mountains, so there is some cold air to work with it. Notice, look at the rain across Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, a large area of heavy rain, and again, that will be delivering some severe weather and mainly just heavy rain as the night wears on. And look at that, strong winds with that snow, for sure. As you can see, those isobars, or sorry, those millibars are, isobars are extremely packed, and into, again, this brings snow, very heavy snow amounts all the way into the North Dakota, and this model in particular brings quite a bit. I don't know if it will be this well developed once it reaches there, but potentially. And you can see that rain does continue into Illinois, Wisconsin, Missouri, and whatnot. Again, this model isn't perfect, but it's a decent model, and look at all the snow amounts it shows. Very high amounts across this area. Decent amounts elsewhere to the south and west, right? But Wyoming, southeastern Wyoming, northeastern Wyoming, southeastern Montana are just really the hot spots. Areas seeing, over 2 feet. There, let's take a look at some other high-res models. This is the NAM 3KM, and again, a similar story, just a bit less, with those snowfall amounts, probably more realistic. The NAM 12KM shows a lot, but again, this model usually overperforms, so, again, which is why I think the HighRes model is also overperforming, but potentially, this NAM 12KM is onto something, and there could be a more aggressive scenario. FV3, this is a very high-res model. It doesn't really do the best job with snowstorms, but notice that it does show quite a bit of that snowfall, that is heavy, just not as widespread, and I don't think that's why it's not as accurate based on compared to other models. HighRes Canadian, very good model. You can see it shows broad, widespread amounts of 12 to 18 inches right there, and decent amounts elsewhere. And if you're to look at the HR DPS, which is a short range model up to 48 hours, it doesn't show the southern kind of U.S., but it shows the northern, and you can see it also shows quite a bit of that snowfall, and I don't think it fully is done with it at this given time. Yeah, you can see it's still going on, if you will. So, there will be quite a bit of snow, and it's a winter storm that I've been talking about for a while, and I'm still talking about it, so I'm glad it did occur. I'm glad that I wasn't, just creating a false alarm, and it is a powerful winter storm. Obviously, there are tons of storm warnings, advisories, so definitely not just some small event. And obviously watch out for the severe weather, either that's today, tomorrow, or with any of these storms in the future. You can see right there across Illinois, right there, there's a current kind of state of affairs with the radar and how things are looking. I do want to quickly say that there is, let's take a look at that GFS model, and again, kind of talk about the extremely long range pattern. You can see, it's quiet. This is the newest of the newest GFS model runs, just finished coming in, and look, it just dries out, and overall just a very warm pattern, almost like a late or early fall pattern rather than almost getting towards November pattern, maybe even late summer pattern for some, as these 2 meter temperature shaded obviously will be, you won't be seeing 90s, but 60s, 70s in late October. It's pretty nice, and it takes quite an anomaly to produce that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next episode. See ya.